Good morning, everyone. This is Nilanjana Mazumdar from People Matters, and today we bring you a session on Discover and Develop Armory for the New People and Workplace Playbook in partnership with Adrenalin. The human race today stands at a pivotal point in a rather longer journey. What decisions we make and actions we take will determine the course of the global economy and population in times to come, be it how we work, how we live, or even how we survive and sustain. Enabling business and talent leaders, we bring to you a session today that will focus on key elements revolving around the framework for people and workplace strategy in times to come, tapping into the cornerstones shared above and scaling them for boosting people capabilities, people experience, and business performances, and in the process, equipping businesses with the armory to future proof themselves. To help us with it, we have today with us Ramnath Venkataraman, ex-head of learning, Noor Bank. Welcome, Ramnath. We are glad to have you on board with us today.
Oh, a very good morning to all of you. And thank you, Nilanjana, for that. And it's indeed a pleasure to be with all of you this morning. And I have, what should I say, 32 years of banking experience in India and internationally, and dabbled myself with HR, with business, with project management, with process re-engineering, learning and development, and in particular with business learning. So the best part about my career is that it's a holistic career involving HR, learning, business, and transformation. I do not claim to be an expert in HR as most of you are, but this opportunity has given me a chance to kind of do some research, do some reading, and having a kind of a coffee table conversation with you. So thank you very much for being here today. And with your support, let's make it insightful and thoughtful. Thank you very much to Nilanjana and People Matters. And I must really thank Adrenalin E-Systems Limited for also giving me this wonderful opportunity. I'm Ramnath here. So,
Awesome.
A new playbook for a new time. I was wondering what kind of a caption shall we give? And all of us from India and South Asia, we love sports. Why all of us love? And all of us love cricket. Last month was IPL fever, IPL season. India's just won the Australian match. And I thought, let's kind of play this game together. So, Israela, great. So, IPL cricket, what has changed? What is the old playbook? It's 100 years. In 1977 was 100 years of cricket. Mr. Kerry Packer revolutionized it. The new dress code and helmets and money pouring in, television, ads. And of course, the early 70s saw the one day. And 1975, we had the day and night and the white ball. Of course, so 5 day to 1 day to the 50-50s to the 20-20s. And the ICC headquarters moving to Dubai. That was all great till the COVID came. And now, when you look at the stadium and this picture, the new playbook is a biosecure bubble, empty stadiums, no fans. Oh, even the ball, no saliva on the ball. The substitution for the match referee rules have changed. But despite all the constraints, the show goes on, the game goes on, we all watch it vicariously. So is it with organizations. While on, so we play a new game. How about a quick survey? How long will it take for this situation to normalize? I don't think any of us have answers, but of late, with our Prime Minister visiting Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, and Pune, and the Pfizer vaccine taking a lot of airtime and a lot of, debates, please, I would like you to share your opinion or your views or your prediction. We give you about 30 seconds. Wow. So, Azrilla, what does that show? That
Yes, I think majority of them are saying 12 months,
uh,
and couple of them are also saying 18 months. Ramnath, what do you suggest? What is your take? How much time will it take to normalize?
Nilanjana, I'm neither an astrologer or even this COVID. None of the astrologers could even predict. Nobody could predict it. I would also perhaps look at. I'm a little optimistic. Perhaps we get to near normal in say 6 to 9 months, and then
Okay.
12 to 18 months would be a good, optimistic view. Uh,
Mhm.
but yes, this is the challenge, and we've never had something like this before. Never have we gone through such a crisis. But some companies have done well. The healthcare, the pharmaceutical, the e-commerce, the edtech, the FMCGs continue to grow, and a lot of opportunities created, as you would definitely know. Though the time we would walk over to a colleague and chat, now we are doing it virtually. Some of us will be returning to the workplace, but I feel remote working is here to stay for in some form or the other. You know what
Absolutely.
PwC's remote work survey says? They asked some US financial services companies about this topic in June. 69% expect almost two-thirds of their workforce to be working from home once a week in future. So that's going to be a trend apparently. And all of us know about Google, Salesforce, Facebook, PayPal are among the companies which are extending the remote working to at least next summer. And of course, our famous Japanese tech firm Fujitsu is halving its office space and giving its 80,000 employees in the country unprecedented flexibility. And almost half, 48% of US employees who've been surveyed by the communications consultancy said they wanted to continue working from home after the pandemic, and that the shift to remote work had positively impacted on their view of the company. I'm sure in India we've had diverse opinions on this. I am from the old school of thought. I like to have my visual, auditory, kinesthetic, feel and touch, pat on the back, a hug. I miss all that. Anyway,
Mhm.
quick look
Yes.
at what the agenda might look like.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think now pretty much people are in between saying 12 months to 18 months. So over to you
Yes,
next.
yeah. So I have just I thought uh, before we even move to the agenda, I must share some companies who've done well. So yeah, there we go. In the IT, of course. Yeah, I mean, just have a look at the slide. They've been very profitable. They've been very profitable. So adversity, challenges, these are all adversities really bring out the best in us, as proven by these companies from IT. From see, the best part is it's pan industries. So IT, banks, pharma, auto, financial, cement, realty, steel, media, oil and gas, and telecom. And guess the next slide should tell us about the Fortune 500, the Indian companies. You found some of them being repeated here, obviously. And in the global rankings released in August, Reliance Industries Limited broke into the world's top 100 companies. A matter of pride for India, definitely. The agenda, as I said, yeah. So we look at three top drivers in HR transformation. I'm not getting into a lot of detail, and we look at what resilience implies for leaders and the mind shift. Trust is something I really believe in, and I feel that this is one area where all of us need to pull our socks and try to get into the meat of what is trust. And a suggested approach would be an agile approach, we have two companies whose, what should I say, accomplishments and case studies I can present, and a very small video to complete it. Nothing in much detail, but yes, this is what I planned for all of us today. And the pandemic has triggered new disruption, changes in customer needs and transformation of business models. All of us in HR have this unexpected stress test. And three top drivers in HR transformation today are the new playbook for HR is what? We are no longer, we've come into a stage where we are a strategic partner in workforce planning, talent development, organizational transformation. We become cultural stewards and ambassadors for the workforce. And so the top three drivers would be, yes, people first, the digital set to liberate HR, and the transferable skills for the future. See, the best part about people first is it's a real opportunity to create sustainable growth and a lot of eminent organizational value. All organizational decisions with people and skills in mind across all lines of businesses. See, we have to do this. All the decisions have to be taken with people and skills in mind. The new playbook demands this. And as HR, we need to spot the vulnerable talent gaps across the value chains. That is very important, because going directly after top line impact and bottom line performance and all the value contribution in between top line and bottom line is the measured approach to organizational design, which sits at the core of unleashing this potential. Companies that see people as value centers, not cost centers, will outperform their competitors in terms of customer loyalty, employee engagement, finally, greater long-term value. Could we show the people first slide now? So the points that we need to do understand is, of course, people analytics and organizational design is in focus. And this is a time where purpose and people takes predominance more than profits. And people as value centers, not cost centers, as I said. The second driver of transformation is the digital set to liberate HR. Okay. Here, what I got to read is that technology. Yeah. The HR professionals, any idea how much time they spend on admin work within HR? 86% is spent on admin work. Leaders must accelerate digitalization so that HR can deliver new people services to the workforce. One of the most common challenges that we are having in the old playbook is the lack of integration between organization systems, the existing manual processes, the fragmented policies and processes. HR is now taking a strong approach to integrating the digital landscape to streamline the work and promote productivity. There is an increasing investment in automated or artificial intelligence technology, which will reduce the admin and help forecast business talent needs. This frees up time for HR to focus more on people services and business talent strategy. I repeat, business talent strategy. Research has found that the pandemic has accelerated this digital adoption in HR, particularly, which simplifies experience and pivots HR from being a functional administrator to being a strategic business partner, as I'd shown you earlier. The traditional lines that used to exist between business and HR have blurred out. The old copybook is gone, the playbook, and collaboration, flexible working, Cross-functional working styles have become the new norm, flowing throughout the HR function. Now, one good example I got was Genpact is one of the four front runners in adopting technologies for optimizing HR processes. It is leveraging technologies such as artificial intelligence and analytics for recruitment, for talent retention, and for many other critical functions. So what they say is by using organizational network analysis, a transformative branch of science that understands an organization's communication patterns for talent analytics, they have been able to provide insights into the inner workings of the company. Continuous talent analytics is becoming essential for organizational growth. By leveraging data is king now. They can see attrition risks ahead of time, and they can hold timely retention and succession planning discussions. Through organizational network analysis, they are able to identify experts in specific areas. This data-backed analysis allows for better decision making, says the CHRO, Mr. Piyush Mehta. And this is essentially what I wanted to show you in this slide. And we come to the third driver, which is transferable skills for the future. When it comes to hiring for the future, the pandemic has definitely changed the skills the employers desire now. Greater emphasis on lift and shift skill sets, you know, the term that you call is gig. Employers want staff who have an entrepreneurial spirit, who can work in an agile way and apply their work experience across multiple roles. They want to encourage lateral moves because it means they are less at risk from, you know, typically a house of cards which can collapse at any time if you don't have somebody who's versatile. And so if a team is too dependent on one person's expertise or leadership, if they were to leave the company, the structure comes crashing down. And so the organizations are looking for those who are very agile and can apply their work experience across multiple roles. We need to have employees who embrace versatility, adaptability, who can easily fill talent gaps or double hat to maintain operational success during times of uncertainty and crisis. This we had not anticipated much. Of course, we have the risk function, the governance function, but the pandemic has really highlighted the need for this skill set. Keeping in mind what happened this year and the fact that 2021 still needs to deal with a lot of this aftermath, some sector agnostic skill sets which companies will have an eye for in the next year would be digital skills, technological competencies. There's something called HOTS, high order thinking skills, analytical skills, social and communication skills, and goes without saying the growth mindset. Since technology has become absolutely pervasive in the workplace, including HR operations, organizations can now see artificial intelligence, which is easing talent acquisition through recruitment, marketing, interview scheduling, etc. Things have changed. Now everything is virtual. I was very impressed with Mr. S.V. Nathan, Chief Talent Officer of Deloitte India. He said, AI has given a fillip to the field of people analytics through tools that can reveal future trends, predict behavior, propensities, and future talent needs. The influx of these and many other technologies is just set to increase. There's a shift to hiring for new skills over legacy skills. So legacy skills is the old playbook, new skills is the new playbook. Cognitive ability, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving, ethical thinking are some of the soft skills that will get highlighted in this virtual and dynamic environment. See, he was asked a very wonderful question and I really liked it. How do you see the impact of technology such as AI, machine learning, etc. on human capital management? What is the future of tech-driven solutions in HR operations? So what he says is the purpose of HR has evolved to providing a distinctive and great experience to professionals, Integration of AI, machine learning with human capital management will help us enhance the overall talent experience we provide our practitioners. AI will bring in speed, agility in the way we function. It will simplify processes and make many of them managed. Specifically, these technologies will lead to a whole host of benefits: personalized employee experience, better decision making, exclusive onboarding experience. Whoever thought of an onboarding and orientation virtually? It's here to stay. Effective people analytics, automated low value routine tasks will get automated, or elimination of any personal bias will also be there. It will simply go. Personal bias in various areas will go. The modern technology has become pervasive. We can see AI easing talent acquisition through automated sourcing, recruitment marketing, interview scheduling, and more. Chatbots, all of you are familiar. They are helping in query resolution and in performing routine tasks. I think in future we'll be having bots helping in the hospitality industry. At Deloitte, what they do is they have developed an in-house chat bot for resolving employee queries, setting reminders for various tasks. AI has given a fillip to the field of people analytics through tools that can reveal future trends. And the clear focus on composite purple roles, which is the role is a mix of technology prowess and business acumen. So right now, the old playbook was technology in silo, business in a silo, HR in its own silo. But now the focus is going to be on a composite mix of technology and business. The skill sets will require Internet of Things, cognitive tools, machine learning, cloud computing, data science, data analytics. Clearly the winners across the digital landscape due to adoption of newer technologies arising from new business models. For me, this was a revelation that technology has seeped in so much and so fast, including the HR function. The one point that is mentioned here is collaboration and flexible working and cross-functional working styles. And of course, all of us understand that collaboration is a vital part of any business. It's something that everyone should work on. See, the ability for your team to work cohesively with others is going to allow the quality of work to improve and overall enhance your company culture. It's vital in growing your business to reach new heights. One good example that I got is from AirAsia, India. They have come up with this peer-to-peer support. The airline realized that the employees are more likely to open up about their problems to a peer than to a detached external force. So this model, it's called Certified AirAsia Trainer Model, or CAT, Certified AirAsia Trainer. And of course, Ms. Anjali Chatterjee, who's the CHRO of AirAsia India, she says we started much before the lockdown and continue virtually this concept today. They realized early on that people tend to learn, as I said, from their colleagues than a consultant or an HR professional sitting in an office. So what they did is the peer trainers are identified, and this is something I really subscribe to. I have been doing this train the trainer, change champions, change agents, and equipping them to run the show. So the peer trainers are identified based on their performance, potential, and communication skills. They work with the function heads and consider people who are already seen as very good performers with high potential, and of course, fairly good communication skills and a natural ability to work with people, train and influence them. So this is the kind of people that we are looking for, says Anjali Chatterjee. It's a sustainable model that has proved very effective and something that AirAsia continues to focus on and will soon go beyond training on customer-centric skills to other skills as well, Now that's very interesting. So it's no longer confined to soft and customer central skills. That means they are, even the technical and complex skills might be reachable through this concept of CAT, peer to peer. Well, in terms of collaboration, what should I say? We have to use software and tools. We have to encourage team building. We have to role model and establish trust. We have to offer rewards and share successes. And we have to build a cohesive team. And last but not the least, a sense of community. It's important to support a sense of community to encourage team building. So when people come into the office, physically or in a virtual environment, they must feel that they are all part of a big family. Now, we come to resilience. And I loved this quotation. Resilience is all about being able to overcome the unexpected, the ability to bounce back. And sustainability is all about survival. And the goal of resilience is to thrive, says Jamais Cascio. While organizations used to describe, ability to change as, the metaphor was, change, if we are very adaptable to change, means we are fixing the plane while it flies. But in this pandemic, the new playbook says we are not fixing the plane in midair. We are building the plane in midair. Isn't that interesting? And in the early days of COVID, I remember people saying, COVID world has only 3 days in the week: yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And see, the resilient leaders need to shift the mindset to a new playbook. So the next slide, please. See, what is required of a resilient leader is know who am I and what do we do across the 3 critical time frames. So respond, recover, and thrive. So just, it would be good to know these aspects of respond. Now the mindset shift is from respond to recover, and some of us are already looking at the thrive time frame. So the sooner we anticipate the thrive time destination, and the sooner we come out of the recovery stage, that means we are resilient. And we need to ask which dimensions matter most in the recover phase that we are, most of us, to our stakeholders. The new playbook is stakeholder gets importance. The digital liberation gets importance. And what will matter to our stakeholders as we shift into the thrive stage. So we are always looking at, we cannot be in the response phase. We are in the recover, but we should immediately try to get into thrive phase and keep our stakeholders, partner with them in the same way. And are we communicating clearly and transparently? Even when we do not have all the answers. As I said, I don't have all the answers. We are trying to look at best practices, some good case studies, some people who've done well, but we need to communicate. There is never, especially in the new playbook, communication and over communication is better than under communication, as has always been. And can we competently deliver on what we are promising to them? And finally, how are we monitoring and measuring our progress in addressing their needs across the 4 dimensions of trust? So this brings me to the topic of trust, which we can talk about till the cows come home. But before that, I would like to show you, the next slide, which talks about the mindset shift from respond to recover. So here, could you show the first one, the situation one? What the stage is from unpredictable respond to the new recovery is to the interim normal. And the situation, it is actually shifting from being so unpredictable, so much of frenetic activity of the early, playbook of the respond period. But now we are coming to a new playbook, more settled, Yeah, obviously not very comfortable, but still a sense of uncertainty is there, but it is still an interim normal. So the mindset of the leaders, resilient leaders, has to go from being responsive to a recovery, unpredictable, to at least an interim normal. And the leaders have to envision the destination at the end of recover. What would be, how would it look like when we have recovered? So that's important for the leaders to visualize and envision. Then we come to the focus. Yeah, now here, focus is now, old playbook was very inward focused. It was appropriate at that time, and of course even now, for in terms of employee safety, operational continuity, it is important. But the new paradigm, the new mindset shift is embracing a return to market facing posture. Leaders have to envision the destination in terms of desired stakeholder outcomes. We cannot be confined to internal processes. So this is a wake up call, because many of us tend to get caught into the internal processes and trying to tweak it and perfect it. The third aspect is management goals. Well, here the shift from managing the crisis was old playbook, new playbook, managing the transition back to a restored future. And as most of you have said, 12 months to 18 months that is what we're looking at. And now what is going to happen is we used to have a respond management office skill set. That has to change into a recover project office. Now, recover project office will require a different skill set than the respond management office. So HR is going to play a very critical role as a strategic partner in getting this talent as well, or training them. Next, we come to the planning. It shifts from short-term contingency planning to say mid and long-term economic and scenario planning. So no longer contingency, it's more on long-term economic scenario planning to understand the impacts on operations, on employees, on financing, and so on. It is very important that we have this model which aligns the financial resources to how much of cash is required to ramp up the operation. So HR has to be a partner in this aspect as well. And finally, leadership is attitude shifts from primarily reactive mode to anticipating. So proactive, how to reinvent the organization. It is a very good opportunity for the leaders to seize, to energize their teams. They say always make people imagine a good future, a bright future. And in Hindi, we say, no, wo subah kabhi to aayegi. So let them see the dawn. It is important that people should have aspirations and hope and trust. And they have to imagine a successful future and embrace trust. And trust is going to be the catalyst to get there. So, how the definition of trust? Well, we are so used to having a wonderful vision, a rock solid strategy, communication skills, innovative insight, and a skilled team. But people don't trust you, you will never get the results you want. And I'm sure all of you concur with me. I really miss a classroom session where I could see and feel all of you and get to see your vibes. But I can feel at heart that all of you, truly believe in this aspect. See, what has happened is during this recover new playbook, remember, respond, recover, and thrive. During this recover new playbook phase, great leadership requires greater followership. And how do we get greater followership? Trust. Trust is not, earlier it was something abstract, an airy-fairy, ethereal concept. No, it is quite tangible foundation that is essential to reaffirming a strong relationship with stakeholders through the recovery. I want to tell you something about two attributes of trust. One is, it's a tangible exchange of value. See, there's no value in isolation, but it represents value in an interaction with others. So, trust with customers, suppliers, employees, investors, team members. So, trust is only built, the value is built like that. Similarly, trust is built in relationships where there's a real, genuine give and take, and it really provides mutual value. The best part about investment in trust is if we invest wisely and prudently, it grows. And if not, it sinks. And research also says that trust actually yields economic growth and shareholder value. How many of us really believe in it and have internalized this? It increases innovation, greater community stability, better health outcomes, and that is the need of the hour. So that is the tangibility aspect of trust. The other is trust is actionable and human. It has multiple dimensions: the physical, the emotional, the financial, and the digital. I would like to see the slide. There you go. The 4 dimensions are very, very critical for us to ensure that trust is built on all the 4 dimensions. Physical, the space, is the space safe? Digital, do the customers feel that my information is secure? Emotional, for all the employees and staff and even the customers, are their emotional and societal needs being safeguarded? And of course, financial concerns, are they being served? The resilient leaders need to understand that human experience in the recovery is a human experience. And in order to shift the mindset to recovery, they need to understand the 4 dimensions of trust. The new playbook is showing heightened stakeholder sensitivity across the 4 dimensions. Either build or lose trust. So, an example would be trust built among the staff when the leaders thoughtfully consider how to re-engage the workforce in the office, reconfiguration of space to honor social distancing, or even going out of the way to preserve as many jobs as possible, not just profits. And customers, as I said, when extra security measures to protect customer data from cyber threats is built, the trust is built. And of course, I love Mr. Stephen Covey's quotation. Can you see me? Hello? Can you see me? Ranjini? Can you
Yes,
see?
your screen is visible. Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I just thought I lost you all. Yeah.
No, we are there.
Okay. Just a minute. So I'm not able to see the screen for some reason. I don't know why.
All right.
I'll continue. Just a minute, huh? Ranjini? Okay. I'll go ahead. For some reason, I'm not able to see the screen. Yeah. What could I do? Yeah. Anyway, I'll just go ahead with it. As long as you can see and hear me. Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah. So Stephen Covey's trust is the glue of life. It's the most essential ingredient in effective communication. It's a foundational principle that holds all relationships. Cannot agree more. And I also saw this wonderful quotation by Andy Crouch. He's a social impact investor. If you could show the slide, huh?
Yes, we can see that.
Oh, great. Thank you. Is that Nilanjana or Azraela?
Yes. I'm Nilanjana. So I'll be here, Ramnath, ensuring that everything is on track.
Yeah. I just, for some reason, I don't know why I'm not able to see you all. I'll just work it out.
No
anyway, so Andy's quotation is so good. He says that for the new playbook, for the mission and people that have been entrusted to us, we will need to act at every moment in ways that build on and build up trust. So we cannot say that it's over. So that purpose, I talked about purpose and people. The purpose, I can say a good company should have a purpose that we build trust. We make a difference. So trust is so critical. And resilient leaders must consider some questions like which dimensions matter most in recover to each of us stakeholders, or the ones which I talked to you about. Now we come to some macro outcome. See here, this is where I wanted that HR becoming more and more strategic partner to business. The 6 key macro outcomes would be revenue, margins and profitability, assets, liabilities and liquidity, accelerating digital transformation, supporting the workforce and operating structure, and managing stakeholders' expectations. And some of the core strategic questions are given there. You may have a look.
Ramnath, can you see the screen now? I think my team has reshared it again.
So what would be a good way of getting there? I come back to my...
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Oh,
yes.
Thank God. I got it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Feel much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Okay, so these are 6 macro outcomes, and I thought it's good that we at least think about it. So in terms of revenue, should we engage customers for acquisition or maintenance, and what customer behavior changes are likely to be permanent? And we need to recapture this and expand into, say, new organic opportunities for top line growth, customer experience, profit margin. And the next point is also very important. Are we managing for profit or for resilience? So we need to adjust our cost structure and investments. The third one is operating for cash or profit. How are we managing the asset portfolio, the mergers and acquisition transactions, strengthening the balance sheet, aligning the capital structure? All this have to be factored in. Of course, number 4 is very key. How can we move faster towards digital transformation? That is accelerate digital transformation, obviously. And this will enable growth. It will decrease costs and progress further as our organizations have to become very, insights-driven organization based on digital capabilities. The 5th one, very important for all of us, support the workforce and operating structure. How are we aligning the work, the workforce, the workplace, as well as operating models, business models, alliances, so that we are able to deliver the recover plan and quickly get into the thrive, time frame. And so the question that we all need to look at is how has the social contract with workers changed? Do we have the right operating structure? Do we have the alliances in place to deliver the plan? The new playbook will demand this. There is just no getting out of this. And finally, managing stakeholder expectations, fulfilling them while proactively addressing risks. So we have to be proactively looking at risk, but managing and fulfilling stakeholder expectations. And we all have to be mindful, how have social and institutional expectations changed? So the way in which leaders created plans and playbooks in the past may no longer be relevant. Especially, they won't be relevant if they focus on either functional or internal view. Old playbook was more functional internal view. Now it's about they have to make clear choices about where, how, and when they want to emerge. And they have to define the destination, anticipate the outcomes, and all of us are now very, very comfortable with this new jargon, the agile approach, the running sprints that we keep having, and judging the right timing also. So based on that, now we come to the agile approach. So let's see what Mr. Jeff Bezos of Amazon says. In today's era of volatility, there is no other way but to reinvent. The only sustainable advantage you can have over others is agility. That's it, because nothing else is sustainable. Everything else you create, somebody else will replicate. So that's agility for us. It has, there is tremendous merit in what he says. And we come to the next slide, which is we first look at the understand one. See, this is a period of uncertainty that will undoubtedly require some tactical shifts in business strategy, as we've discussed. And what CHROs must remain clear and steadfast is these radical changes in market conditions, customer preferences, and workforce dynamics will require us to visit people's strategy in very rapidly. If we have not already done it, this is the time to adopt at least a sense of an agile approach, which basically starts with what? Understanding of business strategy and the degree to which it has been or could be disrupted. Now, the best part about this agile people strategy framework is it's not like a prescription. So nothing to worry. It's a process where you identify, you prioritize, and continuously improve upon talent, organizational, and HR solutions. And for what? So that we deliver the greatest impact on business outcomes and enable our desired employee experience. It all depends on which stage the organization is currently operating in. See, employee experience will span the business strategy, organization, talent, human resources, and activation, which is the alignment. So understanding disruption and impact to your business strategy is very important to HR people, is to develop your people's strategy to unpack your current business strategy, understand the value discipline, customer intimacy, product leadership, or operational excellence that sets your organization apart from competition. So what will make us unique is what has to be understood, this disruption. I'm not dwelling much on this one today. Essentially I would like to say is, as we navigate through these stages, new and existing competitors will be looking to disrupt, and they will influence what customers value and how it is delivered. So a clear strategy and the agility needed to adapt will be critical to future success. And our people strategy must be ready to pivot, and it all starts with ensuring we have the right organizational capabilities. Could we have the next point? So that is identifying critical organizational capabilities and talent segments. So here, as we emerge from the current environment, new business challenges will come up, will require a different array of organizational capabilities to thrive. New definition of talent segments will become critical. It will not be enough to focus only on those capabilities that support our current playbook. Looking to the business response in the stages earlier, a broader set of organizational capabilities is required. For example, the ability of an organization to navigate a crisis with agility will be a key to survival. But the importance of agility quickly shifts to building organizational resilience as the business stabilizes. So back to resilience. Resilience is key to both preparing for a new crisis, which has been brought about by these aftershocks like regulatory changes, business model disruption. At the same time, we prepare the organization to pivot into growth mode again. So it's just not firefighting. So we are looking at growth. We must consider the need for the organization to quickly adapt regardless of the stage in which we currently find ourselves. Now that requires understanding of the capabilities for today, challenges for that may arise, how will they affect the organization capabilities for the organization is very critical. Identifying which workforce talent segments will have the greatest impact on your organization capabilities. It's a critical step to ensure your people strategy should drive business outcomes, and a broader view of talent segments is now required. Now, what has happened during the crisis is many organizations they were caught off guard by the segments that mattered. They failed to fully recognize the importance of virtual workers and those newly considered to be essential, such as customer facing employees and production workers. So, your talent segments that matter must now include those that enable organizational resilience and agility, in addition to the segments that are considered differentiators for delivering on the core business. So, like research and development or engineering or whatever. The third point is articulate. We articulate our target culture, organization culture, underlying beliefs, assumptions, unconscious behavior about how work gets done. It is going to be the cornerstone of how an organization responds to change. And within our context of people strategy, we have to consider the implications of a gap between our current culture, the old playbook, and our required culture. So these are twofold. How we do it is we identify the organizational behaviors and other short-term levers that can help us to work around any cultural obstacles, and then we design people solutions. Who you select, how you lead, how you reward, that will clearly align with the target culture and enable the required organizational capabilities. I'm not dwelling much into this. We go to the next one, which is identify the moments that matter for the segments that matter. So here again, I would like to tell you is, all of you are so aware, employee experiences encompasses the entire employee life cycle from interview to exit. And these are all moments that matter, that can elevate, inspire, connect, remove friction for the segments that matter. It's critical to ensuring alignment across all elements of our people, agile people strategy. And finally, I would say develop people solutions that enable required capabilities, activate culture, and align with desired employee experience. So here comes monitoring employee wellness, etc., adapting physical workspaces, quickly training leaders. And finally, we come to ready the HR function. A successful people strategy is dependent upon mobilization of the entire HR function. We have to identify and prioritize the underlying HR operating model changes. And we have to evaluate HR priorities in light of new strategic imperatives. Now, this is the time to play differently. Can we have a look at, yeah, correct. See, now these are the times where we have to really think about these questions. Are we having constant communication? Are we giving people a voice? Have we made quickly changing strategy clear and constantly build alignment? Have we created engagement? Second, are we giving our people, are we practical about the promise and reality of technology? Have we had a candid discussion and an exchange about what can or can't get done via digital platforms? Are our employees quietly struggling with technology while grumbling and gritting their teeth? Are they getting real-time learning about the state of, are you getting real-time learning about the state of your digital efforts by encouraging employees to communicate about their experience? Very important. Next, are we taking employees' challenges seriously and providing real resources? Are employees complaining? Are we clear about the resources that are there? Any silent log jams? Are we proactively helping them with personal challenges? This can be a game changer during such heavy stress. Of course, rewards and performance matrices, very important. Are we recognizing and appreciating their extra efforts? Are we showing them that over time there is a balance between what they contribute and what they get back in return? Because the employee is anxious about his metrics and the extraordinary situation. By doing so, they will be able to create their own new pathways to excellence. And finally, do we acknowledge and handle the gap in informal interaction? So, do we continue to drive new ways of problem solving so essential to surviving and thriving in a difficult time? So, now let's look at how an office is looking now based on the trust, the resilience, the agility, the collaboration. This is what I envisage, and most of you would be having this. Two wonderful examples are the JLL. Two examples I got is the JLL and Aptic. So could we have a look at the slides? How JLL? Yeah.
I am so sorry, Ramnath. I'm just giving you a quick time check. We have just 9 more minutes to go.
Okay.
If you could, yes,
Fair
take
enough.
it through that way.
Fair enough. Oh,
All right.
okay, fair enough. So JLL and Aptic. So quickly, we look at the JLL, what they have done. See, they have been leveraging technology and tools like WebEx, MS Teams, Workday, and HR systems, right from recruitment, has moved to virtual recruitment, HR systems like Workday. They are managing the employee life cycle across geographies with employee self-service, manager self-service. Then they have gone into onboarding and induction is interactive virtual launch. Then well-being programs and as webinars are being organized. They have something called a round glass reach. They have telemedicines. They have an impact league team, and recognition is happening. Virtual ovations are happening to celebrate and recognize. Learning and development is continuous learning through themes like learn, assess, develop, grow, and move. And the employee connect. So they have a JLL HR team connects with employees on a regular basis via virtual one-on-one or group connects. And Aptech, we all have learned about VUCA. Aptech has come up with SCUVA. So it's basically scalability, think different, evolve, deliver, complexity, redefine processes and products, uncertainty, immediate action, fast mobilization, volatility, internalize and adapt to changes, and ambiguity, accept and appreciate the gray areas. So what their MD and CEO, Mr. Anil Pant, was quick to respond to business community, to the continuity, communication guidelines, protocols for working from home, steps taken for emotional and physical well-being, appraisal process. Also, the people capability maturity model scheduled in the first half was completed digitally, imagine. And a post-evaluation of the capability pool and leveraging technology, cross-functional teams were formed. They were empowered to build an agile and resilient ecosystem for the respective stakeholders. Were given directions as also the freedom to experiment, and 480 webinars organized across their brands for all the students, faculty, and student counselors. Online training, business and digital counseling toolkit was given. Next slide. What I liked about this one is 17 lakhs online hours of training to their students during the lockdown period. Industry Connect, Alliance and Placement team ensured that those students had completed their programs, were placed in organizations that were hiring. Placement of over 400 students despite the lockdown. And of course, social media leadership recognized the contributions on social media platforms. First 10 days of the lockdown, the HR team reached out to every employee, and online session on mental health, reputed psychiatrists organized for students, employees, business partners had a massive participation and questions. So fun activities, they had digital Kambola, work from home selfies, and introducing the teammates' kids to the team, all very, very unique employee experience. I would like to end by showing this little video, please.
So there were few deliveries that got delayed. That point of time, there were a lot of customers that came in and they started shouting. There was no point speaking to HR about it because it is a technical glitch. And that point of time, I spoke to Amber and it got resolved, and in a very good way, I would say.
biggest issue in any human relationship is if people have the opportunity to speak and be heard.
A bot like Amber has the time, the patience, the memory, the empathy to understand and act on the problems, right? Unlike the HR, which is so busy in transactional activities.
Oh, thank you very much. And I'm really sorry. I tend to. There's so much that one wants to share. How could we do the Q&A? Could you take in some questions and then you feed it to me? I'm always available. You can see my details. And I'm always available for one-on-one coaching, executive coaching, training, facilitation, and projects. So please take my details and you may connect with me. Planning to do some courses on trust and how to develop trust. And would like to just tell you that thank you very much. In case there are some questions, we can take them offline. One case study I liked is the Paytm CTO, for payments. Mr. Manmeet Dodi revealed that one of the company's secrets to success was a billionaire Jeff Bezos' two pizza strategy. So in the early, if an internal team should be small enough that it can be fed with two pizzas. So on that happy note, have a great lunch, and I really appreciate the time that you have given me and this opportunity that I have got.
Thank you so much, Ramnath, for sharing such great insights. I was totally glued to the screen, and it was really interesting to understand how our organizations actually, doing so many things in this current world of work. And it was really interesting to understand from you. So before wrapping up, I would like to take one question that we have, and rest, I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, Ramnath would be available to answer all your queries, all your thoughts, and maybe discuss any of the pointers that you must have heard him talking about here. So the one question that Aditya asks is, in automotive industry where blue collared contract manpower apprentice trainees are deployed for skilled jobs, he still sees deployment of automated HR processes a big challenge. What are your thoughts, Ramnath, on that?
Very good question. And I kind of agree with him that it is not going to be very easy to automate that. However, what I would say is, we try to identify. One has to go through a real survey, in-depth analysis of which are the ones which can be and which cannot be, and so that we have a blend of some automated and some non-automated. But that will require some actually visiting the site, understanding the workflow, seeing whether every documentation is in place, are job descriptions correct, or job objectives correct, are the workflow streamlined, where are the handoffs, how does it happen, how is business continuity, what happens in the event of a contingency. So I agree with him. In the automotive, it's not easy, but still there will be scope for some areas which will help to get rid of the mundane, and not that the person will be made redundant. He or her skills will be used in a better I'm not sure if I answered it correctly, but this is my first off the cuff feeling, if I may say so. But very, it is. I understand where he's coming from.
Absolutely. I'm sure Aditya, Ramnath, as he mentioned earlier, he is available in case you would want to discuss with him further. He's absolutely available for that. So with this, we are going to wrap up today's session. We hope you have had a wonderful experience and surely would have gained insights and knowledges to implement better. I would also like to thank our partner Adrenalin for helping us stitch this together. Please do provide your feedback in the survey link in the chat section because your input matters. That concludes today's session. Stay tuned for many more such exciting discussions. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Nilanjana. Thank you, People Matters. And a big thanks to Adrenalin E-Systems for giving me a chance to actually look up the book, the new playbook, read, do a lot of research, and then be able to present something which I have learned. So, as I said earlier, I'm not a subject matter expert in these, and you people are the practitioners, but it has been very a big learning for me personally, and happy to share the links and others things if you would like me to share them. More than happy to tell you, share the JLL link and the AppTech link also. And there's one on Sony Enterprises also. I'm very happy to share them with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ramnath, once again for joining us today.
Thank you. And I apologize